Okay, guys, I give you instruction in your corner. Déjame a clean match, okay? Le di la instrucción en la esquina, vamos a una para limpia. Good luck, God bless you.
Main event of our prelims, it's Cristopher Diaz in the red, white, and blue trunks. Headley Scott, yellow and gold. 10 rounds, 130 pounds. The return of Cristopher Diaz right here in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
It'll be interesting to see how this fight starts, man. 2 years off, you have to think there may just be a little bit of ring rust for Diaz. Just a little bit, right? But it's almost like riding a bike. Once he's back in, that flow state starts going. I think we're gonna see some highlights that we've missed for the last couple of years.
Headley Scott's fight was also 2 years ago, so
yeah.
You know,
a little bit on both ends there.
Yeah.
Christopher Diaz, you saw him fight quite often
yes.
with Top Rank Promotions. Got in there 3 times with world champions Isaac Dogboe, Emmanuel Navarrete, Shakur Stevenson.
I'll tell you what, Dan, what I'm seeing from Scott right now, I do not like.
He's not really throwing anything with conviction.
I don't think I've ever seen a right hand look like that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Right.
Yeah.
He was pulling that right, and he doesn't understand how Pitufo can be so dangerous.
Headley Scott 18-1 with 12 knockouts, letting his hands fly a little bit. You might not like what you see, Wade, but he's letting his hands go.
He's in here for a fight, absolutely, but the experience in front of him and the patience, this is a different level that he's going to see today.
That lone loss for Headley, get the Giovanni Cabrera, who fought Isaac Cruz to a decision.
And Pitbull Cruz hits like a sledgehammer.
And it's the patience from Diaz. He's got a guy in front of him that's throwing wild. But Diaz is a veteran. Yeah, he's been out of the ring for 2 years, but he's a vet. He's going to wait for this early onslaught.
I'm going to make a reference here that many people that don't watch a lot of mixed martial arts may not understand, but since we do have one Diaz in the ring, Scott throws a lot like the Diaz brothers. I know that sounds weird, but
like
he throws a lot like a Nate or Nick Diaz.
You're right.
I see a lot of the similarities in the punches like that, where it's a lot more of looping kind of shots that don't look to be very damaging. But you know what? Maybe as this fight goes on, we might see those things add up. But as of right now, it's super unorthodox.
Under a minute to go here, but it's been Headley Scott. It's the one throwing all the punches.
And listen, you want to talk about what we saw in the last fight with the judging. The volume was a massive factor.
Agreed.
So you never know what we could see here in this as we go forward.
Yeah, Pitufo has been more of on a pouncing style, just walking him down, but not really throwing much.
The question is can Scott keep up this pace for 10 rounds?
That was a little bit low there. Left hook to the trousers, one would say.
Headley Scott now shouting after all his punches he's thrown in there.
Not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign.
A nice shot to the body there from Diaz.
That left landed right on the solar plexus.
Headley Scott comes out now.
Sure.
Round 2 scheduled for 10. Dan Cadobio, Claudia Trejos, Wade Lemons.
I'll tell you this, there is intention right now with Scott.
He's letting his hands fly. He's trying to win the fight. I don't think he can keep up this pace for 10 rounds, and I think Cristopher Diaz believes the same.
It's so unorthodox to watch and there's a sneaky uppercut that gets through, but it's so unorthodox to watch his feet not coordinate with his hands. It's just so different.
They're fighting 2 different fights.
They are. And it's so different to see, but you know what? Hey, man, if it's effective, I mean, he's 18-1 for a reason.
Diaz out of the ring for 2 years. You can see that he's looking to get his timing down, Claudia.
I don't know if he's getting his timing down, but
look at least.
I'm not convinced either way. Pitufo has a lot more experience. He should be able to control this fight. But it's like a dancing partner. It doesn't matter how good you are. If your partner doesn't know how to dance, it's going to make you look bad.
A stiff jab lands from Diaz, gets the attention of Scott.
That's such a great point, Claudia. You're not seeing a traditional boxer in front of you, and sometimes those guys are the hardest to get out of there, hardest to really find.
Oh! A looping left hand sent Scott flying to the canvas. Cristopher Diaz found his timing in round 2.
He had to. He had to. And I think we were all surprised because it came out of nowhere. There was no setup.
And it's
Looping
Scott
left
who
hook.
comes up from that 10 count. Watch his hands go.
my God!
And a big left hand. And the referee is waving it off. Cristopher Diaz, welcome back to the ring.
What a left hook on the button, back to back, like Drake said. Oh my goodness. Are you serious, Dan Canobio? There goes the mouthpiece into the fourth row.
I said he was looking for that timing. Took him a round and a half to get it. Cristopher Diaz, that's how you make a return to boxing. And that's how you do it right here in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
All it took was 5 minutes.
I'll tell you what, Styles, it was the lack of a setup that actually did it. Fighting unorthodox with unorthodox. The leaping left hook back to back. Absolute destruction. What a statement here in the homeland. My goodness.
You see the emotion on Diaz. It's been a long 2 years for him, battling some health issues and getting back into the ring at age 29. You know he wants to make noise at 130 pounds if he wants to settle in there or maybe hop up to 135. But he had a guy in there that he was better than, a guy in there that was a little overmatched, and he did what you're supposed to do. He went in there and he took him out in spectacular fashion.
He was fighting with somebody that did not get into a rhythm.
Yeah, there's the first
knockdown. So he
knockdown.
had to literally find himself out of rhythm.
Slips the jab right underneath it. Inside slip. Gives the momentum to the lead hook. And then again, lazy jab. Hold that one. Oh, my goodness. Bouncing off the canvas. That was the first knockdown. And again, if you don't learn from your mistakes, they're bound to happen again. Here comes the jab. Slip inside. Boom!
Bam.
Goes the dynamite. And the lights went off in San Juan. My goodness.
But like you said, that was not his typical fight style. He had to dig in deep and just look at that. He wasn't even looking. He was looking to the floor. That overhand left.
That muscle memory.
Yes.
Even though he has 2 years off, he knows how to throw that hook. Let's pick up the 28th win of his career.
Dan, it was the oldest.
He let
Beautiful.
let us know in fighter meeting.
WBA Continental Super Featherweight Champion de Barranquitas, Puerto Rico, Cristopher Pitufo Diaz.
Cristopher Diaz picks up win number 28